We have a lot of new and exciting things this week on BGTV. Amanda Murphy will educate us on animal adoption during the pandemic.
Rebecca Buxton will be giving us the inside scoop on how teachers are dealing with virtual learning. Angelica Tripodianos will be spotlighting on our 2 senior soccer players. Gianna Archibald will be informing us on winter sports, possibly starting up once again in school.
And Autumn Snoop will be letting us know about Mr. Crowell's new class on mass media and history. Sean Beck will be entertaining us with his own spin on the Goonies. Welcome back, Wizard Nation.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Sarah.
And you're watching
BGTV. During the pandemic, animal adoptions have skyrocketed. Here's Amanda Murphy with a look into some wizards who added a furry friend into their lives.
Hey Wizards! This week we're going to take a look at an adorable positive that came out of this rough year. Let's check it out.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
This is Franny, and Franny is a purebred Shih Tzu. She's 7 months old. She's been with us for 4 months. So during the quarantine period, we were talking about getting a dog, and we were like, no. My parents said, no, it's not gonna happen. But then when we found out we were gonna stay home for a while, my parents devised a secret plan and basically surprised my sister and I with a puppy. So it was the first day of school. I had a great first day. I was like, this is gonna be great. I can totally get used to this. Then at 9 p.m. at night, a minivan comes up rolling into our driveway, and there's these 2 nice ladies with Franny in their hands, and we said, oh, who are these people? And they say, this is for you. So they completely surprised us. She's been amazing. She's the cutest little thing. She's a troublemaker, but it's all good.
Do you see more cats or dogs being adopted?
More dogs for sure.
More dogs?
I definitely think more dogs. I don't think the initial, maybe a few more cats adopted, but I don't think we've seen as much of a flux with everything as we have with the dogs. Dealing with the initial coronavirus, we've definitely gotten several more adopted and everything from it. We were doing really good with adoptions. Then definitely went through a lull period where we weren't getting very many in for surrenders, so we weren't getting very many out as adoptions either. Now we've very recently started picking back up with getting a lot of surrenders in the last few weeks. Because of the corona, people starting to go back to work and getting back to everything.
I'm so grateful I found this kitten over COVID. She's been a really great distraction for my family and I, and has kept us very occupied.
This is Diablo the goat. Getting the goat made the quarantine a lot better. It's so amazing seeing all these wizards adding on to their families. If you're interested in adopting an animal, head over to Hudson Valley SPCA Animal Shelter. This is Amanda Murphy reporting from BGTV.
Those animals were so cute.
I know. I might have to ask my mom if we can adopt a new friend.
With all the time I've been spending at home, I would actually have time to take care of a new pet.
A furry friend would make online learning so much better.
Virtual learning is so hard. I have so much trouble paying attention at home.
Me too. I wonder how our staff is doing teaching remotely.
Next up, Rebecca Buxton will be giving us a little insight on how teachers are trying to keep their students motivated during the school year.
Hey Wizard Nation, my name is Rebecca Buxton and we are here at Taft Elementary School going to talk to some teachers and students about online learning. What is your favorite part about online learning?
My favorite part about it is that I can hand it in on my own time without having to oh, we have to do this now. I don't really like anything about it, but my favorite part about it is my lunch recess / break because it's super long.
So Eli, what's your least favorite part about online school?
A lot of things, just the lag and not seeing everybody. It's probably I can't talk to my friends and the online work, it just isn't that fun.
You can easily get bumped off and things get glitched, so sometimes you can barely hear your teacher.
And would you rather be in school or online?
Totally in school.
In school.
In school. In school. In school, because I could see my friends and I could see my teacher, and I really like them.
We've met some great students, so now let's head on to some teachers, Mr. Anson and Mrs. Hewlett.
I am here with Mr. Anson. So Mr. Anson, what is the hardest part about teaching virtually?
Well, the toughest part I'd easily have to say is that I don't get to see all my students. I have 28 students. I see 15 and 13 split. I like to consider my class one big happy family, and I'm sad that our family's never together. Virtually, we're together virtually and live, but never completely together. I want the whole family together, so that's the toughest part. I love seeing the faces, interacting one-on-one, but I don't get that through a screen.
Not being with the kids, not being able to see them up and close and personal.
I do have a favorite part. Favorite part is I can have everything online. So if they miss anything, I can bring it up quickly. A lot of the work is shown, so what I can do is share out other students' work very quickly for positive reinforcement things.
Being able to reach all the kids because we are at home. It's an innovative way to get everyone together.
Would you rather be in school or online?
Oh, that's an easy question. 80% in school.
I actually enjoy both. Not many would agree with me. I personally would love to be back home and teaching children.
It was so great to hear from everyone here at Taft Elementary School. And I'm Rebecca Buxton reporting from BGTV.
Wow, our teachers are pretty awesome. I'll definitely have to appreciate them more.
I know, I really wish there was a way that we could still play school sports.
Especially the seniors, since it's their last year.
Speaking of sports, let's see what's up this week on Training with Trip.
Hi Wizard Nation, my name is Angelica Tripodianos, your sportscaster for BGTV. With some winter sports starting up this week, other athletes are eager for their season to start soon. This week, I had the opportunity to speak with Mark Whalen and Jack Wilder to see how they are training for soccer on their club soccer team in anticipation for their school season to start on March 1st. How long have you been playing soccer and what's your position?
For me, my journey in soccer started about 5 years ago. I started with the 7th grade modified team, and I play center back, but I'm kind of fluid, so I can play different positions here and there, but mainly I play center back.
Yeah, I've been playing since like 3-4 years old, like Snoopy soccer. I play right back, but really I can play anywhere on the fence, so yeah.
How was the game you played today?
It was a good win. We worked hard, our passing was great, and the 1-2s are really key when you're on such a small playing field, so I think that was key in winning, and we just worked hard, and that's what counts.
Yeah, like Mark said, good win. Tucked our shots well, good passes, overall good performance with the boys, so yeah.
What aspect of training has helped you become a better athlete?
For me, it's kind of just like repetition, working hard, practicing is perfect, and when you do those little things every single day and improve gradually until, you're at your peak when you're in your senior year, it's such a great journey, and it's a really satisfying experience, and I think that just keeping on going every single day is something that you need to do to improve really, really well.
Yeah, I'd just say, obviously the indoor game, it's small, it's technical, so I'd just say definitely improves your technical game. Obviously outside, it's different to this, so just, quick passes, better touches, and yeah, just, smaller goals, so better shooting, so a lot of that just helps you, so when we get outdoors, we're better.
What advice would you give to kids that are trying to play soccer?
I guess the best advice I can give is go out every time you're going to train or every day and make sure you give it your all. When you give your best and 100%, you know that you couldn't have done any better, and that's how you improve the most and gain so much ground in sports. So I feel like if you're trying to play soccer and you're a younger person, just go out and give it your all every day, and that's what really counts.
Yeah, just say it's like anything else you're trying to get good at. Sport, just hard work, stay committed, and hard. Yeah.
Do you think training for soccer has kept normalcy in your life?
You know, when this pandemic hit, nobody could have really foreseen it, and it changed your life drastically. But you know, we got to grasp the little things that we can still hang on to. That's normal. So, for me, yeah, soccer is the thing that kind of bands us all together in such hard times, and it's how we stay close as friends and continue to pursue our future. So.
Yeah, it's definitely been different. Obviously, you know, we didn't have our season in the fall, so that was obviously a huge change. We were allowed to have clubs, so that was, you know, kept it a little bit normal.
What are your future plans after high school?
My goal is to get into the Coast Guard Academy and play D3 soccer there. I plan to major in being a civil engineer, and you know, I hope for the best and a bright future for me and for everyone else at the school.
Personally, like my future goals, I'd say I'd love to play maybe, you know, in school if I could, definitely club. Not totally sure where yet, but you know, we'll hopefully play some club or maybe like D3 or something like that. But yeah.
Wow, we have some really talented seniors this year.
I can't wait to start cheering our Wizards on again.
How will we be able to do that, Gabby?
I'll let Gianna Archibald tell you with her PSA on winter sports this week.
Public service announcement. Low-risk winter sports are back in session. Bowling, boys swimming, and indoor track are some of the sports starting back up again on January 19th. Student athletes who pre-registered in Family ID must now complete a new health examination form. This form can be found through the Family ID link on the WSD school website. To participate in your sport, you must fill out the interval health history for athletics form and return it to your coach. Sports deemed high risk for the New York State Department of Health have not been authorized for the winter season. These sports include basketball, football, and competitive cheer. The PSA with Gianna, and I'll see you next week, Wizards.
Winter sports may be starting up. This is so exciting.
Mr. Corolla is offering a new class this year, and Autumn Snoop has a scoop. Let's check it out.
Hi, Wizard News Team. This is Autumn Snoop with BGTV, and this past week I got to interview Mr. Corolla about the Mass Media and History course. So let's go watch it. Here with Mr. Corolla, and we're going to be talking about the Mass Media and History course. So, Mr. Corolla, can you tell me what inspired you to start the Mass Media and History course?
Well, I'm just a huge fan of American pop culture, how it relates to American history, because that's always been one of the things I've been passionate about. And also the simple idea of media literacy. I think one of the things we covered early on in the course was discussing Walter Cronkite and the different historical pieces that Cronkite as a journalist went through, and how at one point he was the most trusted man in America, and took us through the Vietnam years, even up to through the 1970s as well. So again, it's a little mix of everything, but it's pop culture, it's media literacy, and it's really understanding how media and pop culture, of course, mass media, impacts our history.
Yeah, so that's favorite topic so far.
I think one of the topics that we covered really early on, I learned a lot from with you guys. And that, of course, was the evolution of rock and roll and what came out of doo-wop and looking at some of the artists and the different cultural aspects that came into rock and roll before rock and roll was Elvis and the Beatles, and as we've gone through those. So looking at people like, from the doo-wop era, Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, or the music of Sam Cooke, and then furthermore, taking that in, if you remember, one of the first assignments we did when we took a look at the plane crash with Buddy Holly and the day the music died. So that early evolution of rock and roll really was a fun time.
Like, what are you looking forward to doing?
Without a doubt, there's only one answer, and it's the 1980s, because those were my high school years. And those are the years that, when I was in high school, going through exactly, the time period that you guys are going through. It's the concerts, it's the television shows, it's it's MTV when MTV had music, and the impact that different things had within the 1980s. And I think that students are going to be, I think, pleasantly surprised when they find out the origins and the evolution of things like, everything from hip hop to hair metal. And as we go through those particular pieces of 1980s pop culture, those television shows, how media changed and what aspects and how it impacted that Cold War period in the 1980s as we brought the Cold War to an end. So without a doubt, I really cannot wait to do the 1980s. from the students is really has been positive as far as the topics we've done. And sometimes there's things that just happen that you can springboard off of. Like, for example, when Eddie Van Halen died, we took the moment to go through that and talk about it. And I even showed you guys the concert Van Halen played in Middletown.
Like, I know, like, we talked about John Lennon in class. Like, how did that impact, like, math, media, and history? Like, how do you think that event impacted our class now?
When you look at the Beatles are essentially a microcosm of the 1960s. What changes from the way 1964 versus they are in 1969, 70? They're a different band. And John Lennon is really looked at as one of those icons in American pop culture, even though the Beatles are from England. Because if you hear when we watched clips of the Dick Cavett show, and you see John Lennon, of course, in that famous footage piece from Forrest Gump, which I think that overall, when we look at the mass media piece in general, my thing is to be able to expand the course, okay, as best we can, as far as all different areas. And when we look at all these different areas surrounding the actual piece, really understanding the different areas of U.S. history that we normally can't get to. Like I'm thinking ahead in just different areas or events in the 1970s, or films based upon historical events that we may know as pop culture, films, but we may never have actually taken the time to see them, or newscasters, or when we look at photojournalism as a whole. Remember when we did the piece back with Emmett Till? And again, these are all different things within the course that does U.S. history, but it does it through a different lens. And that's where I think somebody's love for history, but also being able to apply the pop culture element, it really tends to come into play quite a bit.
This class seems super fun and interesting.
Too bad it's our last year. I would have loved to take that class.
Speaking of movies and shows, up next is Sean Beck with his own take on the Goonies.
Hey Wizards, welcome back to Showbiz with Sean, where this week we're doing my own little version of The Goonies. In the movie The Goonies, a bunch of kids go on an adventure to find one big treasure, and that is exactly what I'll be doing today, looking for the big treasure in the walls of the Washingtonville High School. Where is this first clue? I don't know how to solve these. I need some help. In this envelope, we have the first clue to the big treasure at the end of this. Can you help me find it?
Yes.
Okay, let's do this.
All right.
Wait, that's in front of the school. That must be where the next clue is. Thank you so much. I have just found the second clue by the wizard sign outside, but I don't know how to solve it. Jen, can you help me?
Of course!
Wait, that must be Colonel Brockway. He must have the next clue. Thank you so much, Jen.
You are so welcome.
Excuse me. Are you good at math?
No.
Ah! Excuse me. Do any of you guys know math?
No. No.
Okay. Ah! Do you know how to do math?
No.
Mr. Leonard, do you know math?
Of course I know math. I'm an art teacher.
Can you help me with this problem?
Yes.
That must be room 323. That must be where the next clue is.
It's upstairs.
Thank you so much.
Hey!
Matt, can you help me with this? I don't know who has the worst view in the whole high school. Do you know?
Miss Miller, hands down. Her view is awful.
I forgot about Miss Miller. Thank you so much. I know where that is. Executive producer Blaze Hewlett?
Sean, the prize was inside you all along.
Make sure you check out our weekly newsletter and podcast.
That's all we have for you this week, Wizards. We'll see you next time on
BGTV.